Come now with my friends and I on our adventures as we keep moving forward in the technical realm.
So on this outing and adventure, we had taken the ViewFinder over to the San Pedro Long Beach Harbor area for a service, and on the way back, as we rounded the point by the lighthouse, we went from windy, choppy conditions to summer-like conditions on the north side of the hill. So that's what led to us deciding to go ahead and do some diving and fishing. Alright, now let's go ahead and get to it. Here's Master Fisherman Dave Schaefer fishing a little bit while I'm getting my gear on before I go in for my dive. He's going to be fishing while I'm down diving, and we'll see how he does throughout the day on my dive. Nice cast, Dave.
We'll find out.
Alright, so I'm going to roll in right here and swim down the anchor line as I always do. I'll do a little fast forward so you don't have to do the whole dive down the anchor line with me, and you'll see me go down the chain until I find the anchor, and then from there I'll start doing my exploring, looking for what we're looking for. Here is a big crane that I'm told was used off the Dominator when it went ashore. I think it was back in the early 1960s. I do find the crane, and you're going to see me diving on it, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in the dive. Here I'm seeing a couple lobsters right after I first went down. So right here, after I find this lobster, we'll call him Sherman the sheephead, he decides to come hang out with me, and I give him the lobster and he tries to take it, and pretty sure it's the same fish that you're going to see throughout the video. It keeps following me around trying to get my lobsters. Pretty amazing, these fish actually just come up and look at this, bites right at it. So I go ahead and check this lobster. It's the underside, and I'm going to release it, and sure enough Sherman goes after it, and you're going to see later in this video he's a little aggressive, and I'm trying to push him away because he's chasing that lobster around. The lobster's trying to hide up inside the seaweed. Yeah, they really do like these lobsters, so I guess that's their food. So I guess I shouldn't have teased them like that. Run, little guy, run! Yeah, so it's really a treat to be able to dive and have it be this clear, so I'm going to quit talking so much and let you all enjoy this dive as I come up on the crane here. You're going to see it. So really what I've noticed here is the smaller lobsters that aren't legal will stay outside of the crane, and the bigger ones go back in just out of reach where you can't get them. And that's part of the deal, I guess. What I'm here for is the lobsters, and check them out. So here we are. Let's try and see what we can do here. So here you can see someone has lost their anchor on the lizard. And these are big gears that actually operated the crane that's sitting on there. Yeah, someone lost their anchor and the chain. So if you look back here where I shine my flashlight, there's some big lobsters back in there. You can see several different places where I shine my flashlight. There's keeper lobsters, I can't reach them. doesn't look like I'm going to be able to grab any of these lobsters either. So why don't we do a quick check on Dave up on the surface and see how his fishing is going.
Yeah, I'll put on a jig and maybe bounce a jig and maybe do a little, put this bait down and see if I can keep one of these kind of fish on the bottom.
Yeah, there's definitely some keepers back in there, but these guys know I'm coming for them, and they move pretty quick and hide out in those crevices, and I can't reach them. Well, look at that. I think I might have got one. Lucky he's legal. Ripped his antennas off. All right, keeper for sure. Then after I got a couple keepers, here comes Sherman again, trying to get his 2 pips in. Get away, buddy, get away. Move. I want this one. Now, well, and of course, you know who's going to come back again, right? Here he is. Hey, Sherman, what are you doing, buddy? Get away. I think we better go back up and check on Dave again, see how he's doing with the fish, because I'm not doing that good down here with only 2 lobsters in my bag. Come on, Dave, what do you got on the line here? Anything good? All right, here we go. Maybe a couple more right here. Well, nah, not really. They look a little small. There's a lot of smalls today over in this area, so I think I'm just going to do check a couple more spots and then go back up to the surface. The water sure is clear. It's always a beautiful dive when it's this clear, regardless of how many lobsters I get or don't get. Beautiful day down here. Alright, well, I've checked my gauge and my air is getting low, so I'm going to start heading back toward the boat. And so I'm going to show you a couple more lobsters I came across along the way. Hope you enjoyed this dive as much as I have. Well, that was a nice lobster. Well, look at this, giant sea star. A lot of people call these starfish. They're not a fish at all. It's called a sea star. The size of this one. I've seen some bigger ones, but this one's pretty large. just head on back up to the surface and do my safety stop, and then I'll meet you at the boat. Alright, well after I get back on the boat and get out of my wetsuit and get on some dry clothes, we're going to bring the chain up here, and then we're off to the harbor. On the way to the harbor, we came across these outriggers in their boat who were paddling toward King Harbor, which is where we're headed. So we gave them a little speed up so some of them could paddle and possibly catch our wake to give them advantage to the other paddlers. A couple of these guys knew what they were doing. You're going to see this one guy who's got I think a yellow shirt. This guy in a white boat with a red shirt on. Watch this guy. He was able to paddle right up. He knew what he was doing. A couple of them were kind of scared, I think, but this guy, he ended up catching the wake and going pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah, buddy, go. Drop us a comment and let us know what you'd like to see on our adventures. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah, the one guy steered away from it, the other guy knew what he was doing. He paddled into it. Yeah, no, he turned the right way. I'm trying to give him a big fucking booster. Yeah, look at, they rode. That was fast.
Yeah.
That was faster than I got going.